All right, let's turn now to Moscow, where Russian leader Vladimir Putin held his annual end-of-year press conference. CBS News reporter Haley Ott has been tracking Putin's presser from our London newsroom and joins me now. So, Haley, this press conference, as you know, every year, it's kind of a humdinger. There's always a lot of stuff that Putin says. It's become sort of this event in Russia. So what has he been saying, and specifically, what is he saying about what's happening in Ukraine?
Good morning, Vlad. Yes, Putin spoke for more than 4 hours today. It was, as you say, a marathon press conference, as it is every year. And a lot of what he said was more relevant domestically, not so much internationally. But he has spoken about the war in Ukraine. And he repeated a number of Russian talking points that we hear regularly during Kremlin briefings, that Russia's winning militarily, the fact that a peace deal hasn't been agreed is Ukraine's fault, that Russia's open to a negotiated peace, but on the terms Putin put forward over the summer, which, as you know, Vlad, include major concessions by Ukraine that neither Ukraine nor Europe would support.
Meanwhile, the EU has approved large funding for Ukraine. What more can you tell us about that? And how crucial is it for Ukraine to continue to defend themselves against Russian incursions?
It's absolutely vital. And this package that was approved overnight is a large one, worth over $100 billion. It comes at a really pivotal time for Ukraine because Ukraine was going to run out of money next year and not be able to continue defending itself against Russia's invasion. The EU negotiated through the night. They ended up agreeing to take out a loan against the EU's own budget after initially discussing a plan to use frozen Russian assets in Europe. Now, most of those assets are in Belgium, which was seeking certain guarantees from the EU in case Russia ever demanded that money back. And in the end, the EU couldn't agree on those guarantees, but EU leaders were able to come together with this massive support package. Obviously, we've heard that President Trump wants Europe to take more of a share in its own defense, so the EU will say that it stepped up here and done that. It's also worth noting that President Trump's envoy, Steve Witkoff, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, are expected to meet with the Russian envoy in Miami tomorrow to discuss a U.S.-backed peace deal for the war in Ukraine. And just, you'll recall, this comes after Witkoff met with Ukrainian and European leaders here in Europe earlier this week.
All right, Haley Ott with some really crucial reporting for us from London. Thank you, Haley.